Hello dear students, welcome back to Biology Bridge Course program, and in this video I am going to explain about the blood and the components of the blood. What are the different functions which are carried out by the blood? So in the previous video I explained about the different types of tissues which are present in the animal body. So they are epithelial tissue, connective tissues, muscular tissues, and nervous tissue. So in the connective tissue, blood is also included. Blood is also one of the connective tissues, and it is called the fluid connective tissue of the body. The only one fluid connective tissue which is present in the animal body, it is nothing but blood. So let us study in detail about the blood. Blood is fluid connective tissue which transports substances from one part of the body to another part of the body. That means it is circulating within the body. The blood is fluid in condition so that it is circulating within the body, and it is fluid connective tissue while circulation. When it circulates through the blood vessels throughout the body, it transports substances from one body part to another body part. And the circulation of the blood, especially double circulation in the human body, it was discovered by William Harvey, who is regarded as father of physiology. So William Harvey discovered the double circulation of the blood within the human body. The blood is fluid connective tissue, and while circulating through the blood vessels, it transports the materials from one body part to another body part. The blood is involved in the transportation of oxygen. It receives carbon dioxide from the cells. It supplies all the nutrients to each and every cell which is present in the animal body. So here the same point is mentioned. It provides nutrients and hormones to the tissues and removes their waste products. This one is interesting. The blood is not only providing nutrients. What are these nutrients? These are the essential molecules necessary for growth and development. All the essential materials which are necessary for growth and development, they are called nutrients. While blood circulates in the body, or when blood circulates in the body, the circulating blood provides the nutrients and hormones to the body tissues. Not only blood is supplying nutrients and hormones, at the same time it removes or it collects the waste products from all the body tissues, the very important connective tissue which is fluid in nature, and it is nothing but blood. Then moving to the next image. So here I have selected two images. In this you can see the components of blood. What are the different components which are present in the blood? Blood is mainly composed of two components. One is plasma, and plasma represents about 55% of the blood. 55% of the blood is represented by the fluid material known as plasma. That is why the blood is fluidic in condition. And it contains white blood cells, it contains platelets, it contains red blood cells. The red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes, platelets are known as thrombocytes, and white blood cells are known as leukocytes. There are other names given for WBCs. Expansion is white blood cells or white blood corpuscles. RBCs Red blood cells or red blood corpuscles, also known as erythrocytes, and one more very important type of the cell present in the blood are platelets. So basically the blood contains three different types of the cells. Here you can observe them very clearly. This is the WBC, and this one it is RBC, and these structures are platelets. All the three types of the cells are present in the fluid of the blood called plasma, and plasma represents about 55%, whereas the RBCs, WBCs and platelets together represents 45%. So this is about the whole combination or components which are present in the blood, and these are the three types of the cells which are present in the fluid connective tissue, that is blood. So moving to next one, the process of making blood cells is called hematopoiesis. This is the important term. The process through which blood is produced in the body, the process of making the blood is called hematopoiesis, and the blood cells are made in the soft spongy like tissue of the bone, which is called bone marrow. The bone marrow is the site of production of blood cells, and bone marrow represents the spongy part located inside some bones. The process of making the blood cells is called hematopoiesis, and new blood cells are produced in the structure called bone marrow, and bone marrow is a spongy tissue located inside some bones. So bone marrow is involved in the production of blood cells, and process of making the blood cells is called hematopoiesis. Here again, the components of blood, information about the components of blood is given. So as I told, blood is made up of plasma and the blood elements. The blood elements are nothing but they are the cells. The plasma represents 45%, and the formed elements or blood elements are representing about 45%. The plasma mainly contains water, inorganic substances like sodium, chloride, and organic substances like, these are the ions, sodium and chloride ion. The organic substances like it is having proteins, it contains lipids, it contains glucose, as well as it is having amino acids. So these are the different elements which are present in the blood. So plasma basically it is rich in water. That's why the blood is in the fluid condition. And three types of the cells are erythrocytes. Just I told RBCs are called erythrocytes and WBCs are called leukocytes, and platelets are known as thrombocytes. So these three types of the cells along with the plasma, they produce the fluid connective tissue of the body, and formation of the blood making process or making of the blood cells is called hematopoiesis, and blood cells are formed by the bone marrow, which is spongy tissue located inside some bones. So here is the image of different types of formed elements. Remember, blood elements, formed elements, cells of the blood, all the three terms are giving same meaning. The formed elements are nothing but they are the cells which are present in the blood. Blood elements are also same. They are the different types of cells present in the blood, and the three types of cells which are present in the blood are red blood cells. Due to the presence of hemoglobin, the RBCs appear red in color. Then platelets, they have a significant role in clotting of the blood. Whenever blood oozes out from the body, the blood coagulation or blood clotting, both of them are the same terms. At the time of blood clotting, the very important role is played by the platelets. Like that, one more very important type of cells which are present in the blood are WBCs. And WBCs are of different types: monocyte, lymphocytes, eosinophils, basophils, and neutrophils. Specifically, lymphocytes, they provide immune system to the body, and WBCs are providing defense to the body against disease causing organism. Every cell which is present in the blood, it is performing one specific function. RBCs are involved in one function, platelets are doing some another function, and WBCs are also performing some specific function. So next you are going to study what are the different functions carried out by the blood. Hope this part is clear for you. Blood is fluid connective tissue. Blood is made up of two components, plasma and blood elements. Plasma represents 55% and blood elements are representing 45%. The formation of the blood cells process is called hematopoiesis, and blood cells are produced by the bone marrow, which is a spongy tissue located inside some bones. The three types of the cells which are present in the blood are RBCs, also called erythrocytes. WBCs are also called leukocytes. Let me mark this one so that you can remember it easily. Erythrocytes is nothing but another name of RBCs. Then leukocytes is a name of WBCs, and platelets are also known as thrombocytes. So these are the three elements which are present in the blood. So moving to the functions carried out by the blood. What are the different functions which are carried out by blood? So here, blood provides body cells with oxygen and it removes the carbon dioxide. Very important function. So just I told, RBCs are red in color due to the presence of hemoglobin. And hemoglobin is able to combine with the oxygen as well as it is able to combine with the carbon dioxide. Therefore, RBCs are involved in the transport of both oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. They supply the oxygen to body cells, they collect the carbon dioxide from the body cells. Then question is, how carbon dioxide is produced in our body? It is the product of respiration, it is product of metabolic activities. The carbon dioxide which is released from the body cells due to different metabolic activities, that carbon dioxide is also transported with the help of blood. Then one more function, blood transports nutrients and hormones. In the yesterday's video, I mentioned about villi. I don't know whether you remember it or not. The small intestine, in the small intestine, columnar epithelium produces, surface of the columnar epithelium produces many finger-like projections known as villi. This is the arrangement of columnar epithelium in the small intestine. When that columnar epithelium of the small intestine is observed with the help of microscope, on its free surface, we can see the presence of finger-like projections, and these projections are called villi. This one is singular villus. Villi is plural form. Villus represents singular form, and function of the villi is to absorb the nutrients and hormones. And inside the villi or villus, you can see the capillaries. What are capillaries? They are nothing but minute blood vessels. So, blood vessels, if they are having a very thin structure and narrow diameter, they are called capillaries. With the help of blood capillaries, the nutrients and hormones are supplied to all the body cells and tissues. The blood is involved in the transportation of oxygen as well as it supplies the oxygen and it collects the carbon dioxide. It transports the nutrients and hormones. Then moving to next one. Another interesting function of the blood is the blood maintains body temperature by removing excess heat from the body. The blood is involved in the regulation of body temperature. Constant maintenance of the body temperature is also carried out by the blood. The blood regulates the body temperature. Then one more very important function: platelets clot the blood at the sites of injury. Wherever the blood vessels are damaged, if the blood starts bleeding from that particular part, the blood clotting, prevention of the bleeding is carried out with the help of clotting process. And in blood clotting or blood coagulation, the platelets are involved. It supplies the oxygen, it removes the carbon dioxide, it supplies the nutrients and hormones, it is involved in the regulation of body temperature, and platelets, they help in blood clotting at the site of injury. Then next function, yes, the blood brings waste products from kidneys and liver. In the human body and in the animal body, many waste products are produced as a result of metabolic activities. If I say urea, it is nitrogenous waste product, and that urea is removed from the body along with the urine. Like that, in the liver, in the kidneys, many waste products which are produced, all of them are removed from the body with the help of blood and blood filtration. The functioning of the kidney is filtration of the blood, especially nephrons. The structure which you can see here, they are nephrons, and kidneys are involved in the blood filtration. The toxic substances, unwanted waste products are removed from kidney and liver with the help of blood. Then another is red blood cells are most numerous living cells in blood. What are they? What is the function? They transport the oxygen. They have disc shape. They are flexible and biconcave. The best comparison for the biconcave shape is poppins. I think you are familiar with the poppins. It is a small chocolate-like thing, circular structures you can see. It is also biconcave. The cavity or the depression can be seen on both the surfaces, exactly the shape of RBC. The RBCs are involved in the transport of oxygen as well as they collect the carbon dioxide. Then white blood cells, they provide resistance against disease causing organisms. They are eosinophils, the different types of WBCs, basophil, monocyte, neutrophil, lymphocyte. And lymphocytes are of two types: B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte, helper T cell and natural killer cell. All these are the different types of WBCs which protect the body from pathogens. What are pathogens? Pathogens are nothing but disease causing organisms. Pathology, the branch which deals with the study of diseases, causal organism and its symptoms, is called pathology, and disease causing organism is known as pathogen. So every component of the blood is involved in one or another kind of the function. RBCs supply the oxygen and collects the carbon dioxide. Platelets are involved in blood clotting and WBCs protect the body against disease causing organisms called pathogens. Apart from that, the blood supplies nutrients and hormones to each and every cell which is present in the body. The blood, it is collecting and removing waste from kidney and liver. So all these are the functions which are carried out by the fluid connective tissue, and the fluid connective tissue, it is made up of plasma and formed elements. So these are the things with reference to the study of blood. Hope the explanation is clear for you. Thank you.